Hello, children. Happy Wednesday. Obviously, today you can see on the front of the screen we are starting to write our own wishing tale. Now, before we get started on that, I just wanted to talk about the sentences that I received today, some of the plans. Um, Now, obviously, we're not going to be writing all of our story today, but something I want you to think about, children. And if it was me, I would definitely do this. I would copy this plan. I'd pause it and copy this plan onto a piece of paper, and then I would write my new story plan on it. The thing that I noticed when I read your sentences today, and some of them were excellent ideas, by the way, and I had King of the Koalas and all sorts of things. So I really enjoyed looking at them and seeing your imaginations. But one of the things I really noticed was that your main characters only had one wish, sorry, in some cases. And yes, they only have one wish granted, but they receive, uh, they want three things. Sorry, there's three things that they want. Lee, if you remember, um, he needed to fix the roof, so they needed money. Somebody couldn't see, so he wished that his father could see, and his wife wanted a child. So he actually thought of a way of making one wish so all those three things came true. Now, this is the trickiest part in your plan, but if you don't have it ready and you don't know what you're going to write, when we come to it, you're going to find it a bit difficult. So, really give this story plan some thought, children, and make sure you know exactly what is happening in your story, because then it will make it easy for you to write. Instead of sitting there and getting stuck, you'll just look at your plan like you would in school. So that's just for today. Now, sorry, that's something to think about in the future. For today, what we are going to be doing is concentrating on this part. So it's just this first section that we're going to write today. No more. Okay? So when I set your to do, that is all you are writing. And I will show you what I'm looking for because I've done an example. Now, so today you're going to write the first section of your story. And in this section, I want you to introduce your main character and show the reader, so show me, that your main character is poor. Okay, it would be better if you could show rather than tell. That would be straight away better. Maybe think about what clothes they're wearing. Okay, and then the next thing is I want you to give a little bit of detail about your main character's daily life. So what do they do from day to day, which is usually their job. You could use a fronted adverbial like every day, or each week, or during her working hours, whilst they were at work. Okay, there's lots of things that you could use. And remember to use a fronted adverbial with a comma. Okay, we have done some work on that this week, so I will be looking for those. Now, this is my example. So as you can see, it's not loads, but what I'm looking for, just like to remind you, what I'm looking for in your writing today is for you to introduce your character as poor, show your reader that they're poor, and just write a little bit about their day-to-day life. So, I've written, a long time ago, in a land of sea and stars, there lived a poor oyster diver named Zoe. When the tide was right, she went deep, deep down into the sea to catch oysters. There she would swim, desperately searching for the secret shells. After her dive, she would take her catch to the market to sell for coins. Okay, so let's just have a little talk through that. So I've got here that she's a poor oyster diver. I actually tell the reader, if you could show the reader, that would be fantastic. There lived a poor oyster diver named Zoe. Okay, I may even decide to add it in a relative clause, who dreamed of a better life. That's a bit more, that's a bit more show, isn't it? It shows you that not everything is what she wants in life, and she dreams of a better one. When the tide was right, so obviously the tide goes out, so it won't be as deep. She can't dive very deep when the tide is in because she wouldn't be able to hold her breath for that long. When the tide was right, she went deep, deep down in the sea to catch oysters. So that's obviously her job, because she collects them and takes them to market, which is again similar to the king of the fishes. There she would swim, desperately searching for the secret shells. And that word desperately there, children, I've picked specifically because it shows you that she's desperate to find some, because without these shells, these oyster shells, she is unable to buy food. Okay, she's unable to survive, so she's desperate to find these shells. After her dive, there's my fronted adverbial, she would take her catch to the market to sell for coins. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is write your first part of the story. Now, when you've done that, remember to check your punctuation and spelling. I've noticed there's a lot of spelling mistakes, and I can understand why, because when I type, I make a lot of mistakes too because I'm typing speedily. But I try to go back and look to see if there are any mistakes. Okay, check that you've got your capital letters and full stops. And also, if you should be using fronted adverbials. So, a long time ago in a land of sea and stars. Okay, that's showing you where and when. It's got a comma after it. So has after her dive. And I've also used some subordination here. We've got our I saw a wabub rainbows on your desk that you use at school, and that's also on display at school. So, when the tide was right, she went deep, deep down in the sea to catch oysters. Okay, now it's not a lot, children. So, I mean, how many sentences are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sentences. Do not go past that point because we're going to work on that tomorrow. Okay, I look forward to reading your examples. If you need to stick close to the King of the Fishes story, stick close to it, use it. Go back and look at the other videos and look at the example again. Okay, but if you can come up with your own one and move a bit further away from the story so it's your own, that would be more impressive. Okay, so sorry. Thank you very much, children. I'm really looking forward to your stories, not just in 4SB, in 4AF and 4MJ too, because I'm sure the best ones will be shared by your teachers. And not forgetting, we've got celebration assemblies on our blog. There's a celebration assembly blog, and I'm really looking for some writing to go onto that for year 4 next week. So impress me. Good luck and take care, children. Goodbye.